All right. Hello and good afternoon, and welcome to this class of Write Smart on Physical Geography. I hope you can all see and hear me. If you can see and hear me, please write yes in the chat and we'll get started. All right. I will take any comments or questions after the class. No discussion of the result. Result in the chat, you'll get blocked. ठीक है, क्योंकि हमारे कंट्रोल में नहीं है रिजल्ट कब आएगा एंड डिस्कस करके कोई पॉइंट नहीं है. देयर इज एब्सोल्युटली नो पॉइंट ऑफ डिस्कसिंग द रिजल्ट. All it will do is increase your anxiety and make you unable to study. You don't know when the result is coming out. I don't know when the result is coming out. Nobody knows except for probably the members of the UPSC. किसी कोई वहां पे जानता हो तो उनसे पूछ लेना. But other than that, it will only serve to increase your anxiety. You don't study for 2 days, you lose 5 marks in mains. You lose 5 marks in mains, you're out of the list. That's the name of the game. So please, no discussion of the result, no matter what happens. Okay. Today's class is on physical geography. Questions I will take after the class. Physical geography mein again go in order. I am assuming you know most of the concepts. कि आपको एक basic understanding है. My job here is to give you a lot of value addition so that you can secure at least 1 mark more per question than your competitors. And that's what I'm going to do today. ठीक है, तो अब please result, tests, इन सबको छोड़ के let's focus on what we have to study. Whatever questions you have, I'll take after I'm done. There are a lot of things I have to teach you. I have studied 2 books of geography optional to make this class, right? So please respect that effort and please focus here. आप लोग वो लोग हो जो इस साल मेंस देने वाले हो. At least I am treating all of you and you should treat yourself as if you are giving mains this year. We do not have time for any useless discussion at this moment. You will realize this when mains will be 5 days away. ठीक है, प्लीज लक्ष्मण चैट स्पैम मत करो. ठीक है, ऑल राइट. नाउ in physical geography, how do we write the introduction? Please note this down with me. Introduction में what do we have to write? अब definition based. One way to write the introduction is definition based. In case there is a specific phenomena that is asked, please write this in your notebook. Let's say a question came on fjords in 2023, or a question comes on any geophysical phenomena that is slightly out of the book. For example, twisters. I know this was a very difficult question to write, but अगर इस type का question आता है, define it. Easiest thing to do, right? Second type of introduction is data based. I have given a lot of data in the value addition PDF. Data based is scarcity and degradation. इस type के जो questions आते हैं, we'll see them in human geography. इस type के जो questions आते हैं, there we'll use this data based introduction. Third, this is obviously something that we are going to use in all papers. Recent context based introduction. Anything that has happened recently, just point it out and link it to the question. I'll show you all of these types when we are writing the answers. Then keyword based. For example, the first question today we are going to discuss is geophysical characteristics of circum-Pacific zone. Here, you know this keyword ring of fire, use it. And lastly, link it to climate change. Most questions of physical geography you will see are some way or the other, it is possible to link them to climate change. So link them to reports. Reports such as the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change report called Assessment Report 6. This has a lot of data. Don't need to read this report, but we can link it to this and I'll show you how to do this. So 5 ways of writing the introduction when it comes to geography. Is this clear? Is this clear? This is physical geography. We'll come to human geography. I'll give you a couple of more ways also. ठीक है? अच्छा. Now, discussing conclusions. One standard way to write the conclusion in any subject is SDG based, or you can link it to our INDC targets under the Paris Agreement, right? So this is one way, right? Okay. Then Panch Pran. This was given by our Honorable Prime Minister in context of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Here, Pran 5, the fifth pledge, was with regards to water conservation and lifestyle for environment. So wherever you see a question related to environment on geography or water related, ये human geography में ज़्यादा काम आएगा, we use these. अब we can use some government agenda or government program. For example, the Bonn Challenge on land degradation, recent mission Mausam on monsoon prediction. This can be used. In case there is a question which is based on a broad topic, but there is no directive word. For example, explain the geophysical characteristics of circum-Pacific zone. अगर इस तरह का question आता है, just summarize in the conclusion. This is the most basic way to write the conclusion. Just summarize it. Okay. And lastly, climate change initiatives globally. Some initiatives of COP29 and COP28. We can remember a couple of these and link it to this. Okay. Right. Dublin Principles for Water, Helsinki Principles for Upper Riparian and Lower Riparian States. इन चीजों से आप लिंक कर सकते हो, ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी में ज्यादा काम आएगा. Are you able to understand way to write introduction and conclusion? ये समझ आ रहा है? अभी बस ये नोट कर लो. When I do these questions with you, I'll demonstrate each single one, so you'll understand how to use this. Summary based दिखाऊंगा ना यार, अभी बस नोट कर लो, बस नोट कर लो. I'll show you in the questions. ठीक है? अच्छा. Maps, as many as possible. Technically in all geography questions there should be maps. अब दो तरह के मैप्स हमें बनाने हैं. एक हमें बनाना है इंडिया का मैप और एक हमें बनाना है वर्ल्ड मैप. Both these maps should be drawn in 15 seconds. ठीक है? So now I am going to draw the India map on the board. Please learn from me. ठीक है? Please सीखना इस इंडिया के मैप से कि कैसे बनता है. Is that clear? Is this clear? अभी हम ये सीखेंगे कि मैप कैसे बनता है. प्लीज एक नोटबुक लेके बैठो एंड लर्न टू ड्रॉ दिस मैप विद मी. ओके, देखो. When you have to draw India's map, I'm drawing on the board, so there might be a few distortions. You have to learn to do this in 15 seconds. देखो, सबसे पहले you draw 2 threes, 1 3 like this, 1 3 like this. This is for Jammu and Kashmir. You link it. ये जम्मू एंड कश्मीर बन गया. अब first we'll draw the western coast, draw one slanting line, then this part for Rajasthan, this part for Gujarat, and a straight line for Maharashtra. This much is clear? Then we start drawing the eastern coastline. We draw a slanting line, then we make one box here for Nepal, then one box for Sikkim, one box for Bhutan, and then a slanting line. So Nepal, Sikkim, Bhutan. Just draw these boxes. ऐसे करके draw करने. Then once you have done this, from here you have to draw the northeast and draw one box for Bangladesh. थोड़ा सा टेढ़ा बना है because I'm drawing on the board. The point should be clear. So one box for Nepal, one box for Sikkim, one box for Bhutan, and one box for Bangladesh. ये हमने बना दिए. Then you link to the southern tip of India through a straight line and then through a curved line. And this is a decent enough map. This is a decent enough map of India, slightly distorted since I'm drawing on the board, but a decent map of India that you can draw in 15 seconds. समझ आया क्या करना है? I'll just show you again what to do. Now I'll draw it quickly. And this is what you have to learn. 1 3 on top, another 3 on top, link them. This is the speed at which you have to draw this map. This is the speed at which the map needs to be drawn. थोड़ा बहुत डिस्टॉर्शन चलेगा, बट इससे ज्यादा टाइम नहीं होता. Is it clear? Is the process clear? First step is This is step 1. This is step 2. This, or rather this much is step 3. This much is step 4. This is step 5. This is step 6. क्लियर है? अब now please don't forget to draw the islands. This is step 7. 7 steps to create India's map. Please practice this today. ये ऐसे बनना चाहिए. Is this clear? ठीक है. अब couple of more details about India's map. When you are drawing in your answer sheets, let's say these are 2 pages. अगर content ज़्यादा है, if you have a lot of content, make a map in this part and write about this map here. ठीक है? This is a good way to draw the map. Draw it here and write about the map here. India's map should take about quarter of the page. 25% of the page should go to India's map. Again, drawing it once more for you, just to show you how it is drawn. 1, 3, second 3, link these. Draw Rajasthan and Gujarat. 1 box for Nepal, 1 for Sikkim, 1 for Bhutan, 1 for Bangladesh. Okay, this has to go here. And here you will write about that map. Never just draw the map, always write about the map. Is this clear? अब मान लो मैप है सोलर एनर्जी पोटेंशियल का. So shade it. Let's say this is high potential region. Shade it and label it. So यहां पर मैप बनाया और इधर लेबलिंग करके दिखा दी. Always label the map alongside. Understood? India map is clear? 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. एग्जाम्पल दिखाऊंगा ना अभी आपको क्वेश्चंस में क्या लिखना है. अब नाउ प्लीज पे अटेंशन and listen to how a world map is drawn. This is just my method. If you have your own method, use that. For drawing the world map, draw 2 C's. One C, one C like this. We are drawing North America at the moment. Link these two. This is North America. Clear? Step 1, one C like this, one C like this. Link these two here. Link them and then draw this. ये नॉर्थ अमेरिका हो गया. ठीक है. अब इसके बाद हम बनाएंगे साउथ अमेरिका. साउथ अमेरिका यहीं से बनेगा ऑब्वियसली. बिल्कुल यहीं से बनेगा साउथ अमेरिका. इसमें we are basically going to draw it the way a P is drawn. Something like this. ठीक है. Something like this. Again, it does not matter how geographically accurate you are being. Something like this is sufficient. Second step, South America. North and South America बना लिया. North and South America is clear. Good. Now, third step is drawing Africa. So for Africa, we will draw a slightly wavy line here, one curve here, and we'll go down like this. Okay. Then again come up and draw a straight line here. This is Africa. Broadly, it needs to be correct, right? So again, wavy line, you know, this is a continental drift example. These two regions were together at one point. So then we'll draw this straight line and draw it like this. This is how we draw Africa. Okay. Then next we'll draw Asia. So Saudi Arabia, India, then Indochina, go on to China and draw like this. You've drawn Asia now. Okay? This is step 4. From here we have to now draw Russia and Europe. So we'll continue this line here. Make this area for the Scandinavian countries. Make this for Spain. And link it here. This is more than good enough in the actual paper. More than good enough in the actual paper. Then don't forget some things. Japan has to be drawn here. Australia has to be drawn here. And ASEAN states have to be drawn here. This is more than good enough. Varu, all your messages are visible. Everybody's chat is private. Panic मत create करो यार. आप चैट में लिख रहे हो we all know how to draw the map. हो सकता है आपको आता हो. How can you speak for everybody else? ठीक है, दिस इज मोर देन गुड इनफ. देन यू कैन, देखो अगर आपने मैडागास्कर नहीं बनाया या आइल ऑफ मैन और इंग्लैंड नहीं बनाया, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. ग्रीनलैंड मिस नहीं होना चाहिए. मेजर कॉन्टिनेंट शुड नॉट बी मिस्ड. ठीक है, जब आप 15 सेकेंड्स में करोगे यू विल मिस थिंग्स हियर. यू विल मिस दिस, यू विल मिस दिस, ये भी मिस करोगे, ये भी मिस करोगे, एंड दैट्स ओके. जो चीज आपने वो दिखाना जरूरी है. ठीक है, अब you should ideally, now just a few more guidelines for map creation. Ideally you should draw a box around it. पेंसिल से बनाने का टाइम मीन्स में नहीं मिलता. ठीक है, एंड बिलो द मैप, ऑलवेज बिलो द मैप, write what this map is about. For example, if I am trying to show mineral oil distribution, I will write like this: figure mineral oil distribution. I will write this figure here. अब वर्ल्ड मैप कैसे बनाना है? If these are 2 sheets of paper, world map can be drawn like this in a box here, occupying the complete area since it's a larger map. So you can draw this map here and write about this map here. Label it, show some areas, and then write about this in this part or this part. तो आप पूरी शीट का ब्रेड्थ ले सकते हो. Right, so you can take the entire breadth of the sheet when you are drawing the world map. Is this clear? वर्ल्ड मैप और इंडियन मैप बनाना आया? Now please practice this today. Please practice this today. Okay, this has to be done in 20 seconds maximum. This has to be done in 10 seconds. This is what you need. 10 seconds here and 20 seconds here at best. Up. Now let's start with the first question. This is the first question on the board. You have 2 minutes to think. Focus on the question. What do we do in questions like this? Firstly, what are the parts of the question? Secondly, what approach I will use, what I will write in the body, what I will write in the intro, what I will write in the conclusion. Don't think about the introduction first. Think about the body first. Think how many points you can generate here. All right. अब देखो, अब एक दो बात सुनो मेरी. Firstly, in this question, when you are thinking of the body, there are, मेरे हिसाब से मुझे दो approaches समझ आई थी. I could understand two ways to write this question. One way was I can look at the components of geophysical characteristics. कि इसके components क्या क्या हैं. ठीक है. What could be the possible components? Tectonic activity, volcanism, earthquakes, landforms, oceanic processes. Right? This could be one way to write. An even better way to write and more geographically relevant way to write is to show a sort of supply chain. अब supply chain यहाँ कैसे बनेगी ये समझना. When I am trying to show a supply chain, I can show the various plate movements. So there is going to be some oceanic divergence in this region. What is it going to create? Mid-ocean ridges. It is going to create some sea mounts, right? There can be some oceanic convergence. When there is oceanic convergence, what happens? There is one plate like this, which will be subducting plate. There is one plate like this. There is trench formation due to magma uplift here. There is magma uplift here. There is sea mount and volcano formation here. Sometimes even chain of islands can form. अब इसका एग्जाम्पल है मेरे पास. आई नो अबाउट Aleutian Trench and Aleutian Island, Kuril Trench and Kuril Island, Philippines archipelago. These are the examples of oceanic convergence. Then there can be some continental oceanic convergence. When this happens, that there is an oceanic plate and there is a continental plate, the oceanic plate is going to subduct. So again, a trench is going to form. The continental plate is going to fold up and a fold mountain is going to form. This is the exact scenario of the Andes mountain. So I can give the example of the Andes mountain. Now, one more type of plate movement that is seen in this region is transform movement. So I can show some transform movement. So transform movement is plates will go parallel to each other. They will move like this or this. So there will be earthquake generation, tsunami generation in that region, but no major landform that will form. Now, if I write like this, I can still come up with a lot of points. But if I write like this, I can make a diagram next to every point or not. In my answer sheet, now if I'm writing like this and I have 2 pages, I can write oceanic convergence, make a diagram here of oceanic convergence, give the landforms and give examples. I can write continental convergence, continental oceanic convergence, make a diagram, give the landforms. I can write sea floor spreading. Sea floor spreading is oceanic divergence. Make the diagram, give the points. Then I can write the other points. I can write transform movement. In transform movement, I can show the plate movement and give some points. Then I can write oceanic processes like upwelling, like cold ocean currents, like hot ocean currents. Now, is this looking like a much better and geographical answer? If the examiner were to check this versus the examiner were to check any other question in which just the broad points were given. So a components based approach which most of you were thinking कि अच्छा यार earthquake है, आपने components सोचे और आपने बना दिया, and at best you could have drawn even a map, right? You could have shown, let's say this is the Alaska region, this is North America, this is South America region, this is that part of Asia, and this is Australia. You could have shown this is the circum-Pacific zone and shown some features here. ये भी एक approach है. But मेरे हिसाब से this one will generate more points because this looks very technical and it shows your understanding of geography, and even the syllabus point is distribution of various geophysical phenomena such as volcanoes and earthquakes. तो आप अगर यहां पर ट्रेंच दिखा के फिर आप एग्जांपल दोगे कि सी देयर इज Aleutian Trench and Aleutian Islands, Kuril Trench and Kuril Island. If you show trench along with fold mountain and then you give example of Andes mountain, it shows your geographical understanding. अब यहां पर ऐसा तो कुछ नहीं है जो आपको नहीं आता था. Now, two more things are left. What do I write in the introduction? In the introduction, I have to show the examiner that my copy is worth reading, that I know more than the copies that you have read before this one, right? So I will write about Ring of Fire. I will write that 75% of the volcanoes and more than 90% of the earthquakes are found in this region. And in the conclusion, only geophysical characteristics are asked. So I can write that this is one of the most unstable and unpredictable regions on Earth, right? I just have to write a broad summary that there are various geophysical processes. It is important for resources, but also vulnerable to hazards, and therefore mitigation strategies in this region and early warning systems in this region are of paramount importance. It's a summary of whatever I have written, right? समझ आया? Is this clear? समझ आ रहा है ये? Can you see a better answer here with the same content that you had? Now let me show you how you can improve your content and get even 1 mark more than this. Now this is the PDF I have given you. पहले तो इसमें related questions देखो. Why this topic is very important? Theory of continental drift. Theory of continental drift was asked in 2013. In 2014, fold mountain systems along the margins of continents. This exact thing is related to circum-Pacific zone also. Thousands of islands in Indonesian and Philippines archipelagos, 2014. 2018, mantle plume and plate tectonics. 2021, alignment of major mountain ranges. Again, alignment of major mountain ranges is linked to plate tectonics. So plate tectonics becomes a very important subsection of geography that we have to revise. Now, to get even more marks than others, here I have shown you I have given some points which normally you don't know about. For example, magnetic stripes. For example, hydrothermal vents. You will know about oceanic trenches and volcanic arcs, but you might not know about something called back arc basins. You might know about fold mountains, but you might not know about accretionary wedges. And even examples are given. No need to understand these concepts in detail because these are slightly higher level concepts for GS. But if we can name them, that would be a very good idea and gain us even more marks. And I've specifically created boxes for these. ठीक है? Transform boundary में आपको earthquake का तो पता होगा, but strike slip fault you might not know. So these are some extra points so that you can generate even more marks than others. For example, mantle plume is something we tend to forget, but it is written here. Conclusion summary based, most active and unpredictable regions of Earth. contains various resources, the frequent tectonic and volcanic activity underscores the need for early warning systems along with mitigation strategies. Now I have few extra points in case I get a question on plate tectonics. I know 4 or 5 extra points. I know that the diagram of these plates can be drawn, and I know how to answer this specific question if it comes again. Clear? Now, after every Write Smart class, what you should do is spend 30 minutes reading this PDF. I know most people would not be doing it, and that is why some people get to create an edge from this course and some people don't. अब यहां पर जो एक्स्ट्रा चीजें आपको मिलती हैं वो आपको अपने नोट्स में लिख लेनी चाहिए. There is only some, there's some limit to the amount of effort I can do, but ultimately you also have to do that same effort with me. That is why in the starting of the class I told you result discuss मत करो. अब अगर आप ये काम नहीं करते और आप रिजल्ट डिस्कस करने लग जाते हो या कोई और काम करने लग जाते हो, you will miss out on these points, and they might be the difference between you making it and not making it. Right? I'm sure you can appreciate this fact that these points or these approaches take a lot of research on my side to get out every year, right? It's not the same content as last year. Every answer I have changed. So please appreciate that effort and please be serious. Right? अगर आप चैट में ऐसी चीजें लिखोगे कि सर when will the result come out and I know how to draw a world map, सर मैं किसी का नाम नहीं ले रहा हूं, but please understand यार, जितना आप सीरियस रहोगे उतना बढ़िया रहेगा. Right, sir, you didn't tell me the class has started. So please understand यार, we will take this seriously. अगर आपको आराम से पढ़ना है तो आप 2026 वाले बैच में शिफ्ट हो जाओ, हम कर देंगे आपको, रिजल्ट के बाद कर देंगे. बट राइट नाउ प्लीज फोकस ऑन दिस. यहां पर 1 नंबर एक्स्ट्रा है फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी के क्वेश्चन में, अगर आप ये 2 पेज पढ़ लेते हो तो, और उस 1 नंबर की वैल्यू ना बहुत ज्यादा है. आई होप ऑल ऑफ दिस इज क्लियर. आई विल नाउ मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. All right, next question for you. This we have seen. Chalo, let's solve this. You have 2 minutes. No, Deepika, there is no positive or negative impact in this case. यार, I will repeat again. सबसे पहले identify parts of the question. Parts. After you have identified the parts, think of an approach. If possible, ये step necessary नहीं है, approach is just to see how many points you'll be able to generate. Then think of body points, then think of intro, then think of conclusion, and all of this ideally should be done in your notebook, right? अब इस क्वेश्चन को अगर मुझे पार्ट्स में बांटना होता, देखो, if I have written this means I would see that this is part 1 and this is part 2. So I have to mention recent global occurrences. So I should know at least 3 to 4 examples of recent occurrences of volcanic eruptions. First, this is the thing. Then impact on regional environment. Now the good thing is that impact on regional environment, impact on climate, this is something that gets asked multiple times. Let me show you. ये देखो. Troposphere is a very significant atmospheric layer that determines weather processes. Major mountain ranges impact on weather conditions. Unusual climatic happenings, outcome of El Nino. So climatic happenings. Cryosphere affecting global climate. So this is a particular, set of things, set of questions where climate keyword is being repeated over and over again, right? So what we'll do now for any question on climate, we will remember this. Anywhere I see the word regional climate, regional environment, impact on climate, climatic processes, weather processes, etc., in all of those, I will just keep this map of components with me. So anywhere I see the word climate or weather, I will know it has to do with atmospheric composition 1, solar radiation 2, temperature 3, humidity 4, air pressure and air systems 5, clouds 6, geographical features 7, oceanic processes 8, winds 9 and human activities 10. ये आपको याद करना है. आपको कहीं भी क्लाइमेट वर्ड दिखे, जस्ट रिमेंबर दीज 10. इनसे जो जो आप रिलेट कर पाओ लिखाओ, राइट? In this question also, for example, I could have just, if I knew these 10 points, I could have thought, okay, impact on atmosphere, impact on solar radiation, impact on temperature, impact on humidity, impact on cloud formation, impact on air pressure, maybe some new geographical features might form, impact on winds, if there are any, impacts of oceans, if there are any, and impact on human activities. This would have given me at least 6 to 7 points. This question, everybody thinks they know this question. ये जो क्वेश्चन है, सबको लगता है कि ये क्वेश्चन वो लिख सकते हैं क्योंकि वॉल्केनोस पढ़ा हुआ होता है. But if I ask you to write 8 points here, it would be very difficult. But if you divide it into subcomponents, you will be writing. I hope this is clear. So firstly, anywhere you see this word environment, just remember these components and write. Now I am giving you 1 minute more with these components in mind. With this in mind, I will zoom on this for you. With this in mind, now think of how many points you can generate. अब दोबारा सोचो कितने पॉइंट दिमाग में आ रहे हैं. If you can now think more than 6 to 7, right, you are on the right track. ठीक है, अब अगर आप 6 to 7 सोच पा रहे हो, आप बिल्कुल सही ट्रैक पे हो. एंड द पॉइंट इज यू शुड बी एबल टू जनरेट more points than you were able to generate earlier, right? Now I have given you here the recent global occurrences because this question is likely this year. Mount Etna had erupted in June 2025. right? It's erupted 2-3 days back. So I will, in the introduction, link it to this. The recent eruption of Mount Etna led to an increase in sulfur dioxide and particulate matter concentrations, active lava flows, and pyroclastic explosions. This demonstrated the multi-dimensional impact of volcanoes on regional environment and human activities. Right? Now, anytime you want to understand whether an introduction to a question is good or not, ठीक है, सिर्फ इस इंट्रोडक्शन को पढ़ के गेस करो क्वेश्चन क्या है. अगर इस इंट्रोडक्शन को पढ़ के हम ये गेस कर पा रहे हैं कि ये वही क्वेश्चन है जो लिखा हुआ है, दैट मींस इट्स अ गुड इंट्रोडक्शन, अदरवाइज इट्स अ इररेलेवेंट इंट्रोडक्शन. अब इस इंट्रोडक्शन को पढ़ के I can see that there is some recent eruption written. So question must have the word recent in it. Eruptions लिखा है तो must have volcanoes in it. It is showing some impacts. So must have the word impact in it. It is also showing the words regional environment and human activities. So these words should also be in the question. आपको अब थोड़ा और डिटेल में जाके बता रहा हूं कि इंट्रोडक्शन अच्छी कैसे दिखती है, या हम कैसे देखें कि हमने जो इंट्रोडक्शन लिखी है इट्स अ गुड इंट्रोडक्शन और नॉट. नाउ इफ आई जस्ट रीड दीज 3 लाइंस, I can see that the question must have the word recent, must have the word impact, must have the word environment in the question, and volcanoes, of course, right? Now let's read the question again. Recent global occurrence of volcanic eruptions and their impact on regional environment. This means I have written a good introduction. So this can be one hint for you on how to write introductions. Pick up words from here. If you pick up words from here, you will never be writing an irrelevant introduction. Okay. Up. I will first show recent global occurrences. Then I will show impact of volcanic eruptions. Now again, some points here that you generally do not think of, because volcanoes are likely this year, they are in the current affairs, they have been asked before. So some extra points are there. For example, there is a phenomena called volcanic fog. This is the additional sulfur dioxide release. This happened in the case of Mount Etna. Carbon dioxide release, and even the link with polar stratospheric clouds. This thing we generally don't know, that volcanic eruption can cause a depletion of the ozone layer through the formation of polar stratospheric clouds, but it is there. There is a concept of volcanic winter. It was very much in the news. When aerosols are released, जब volcanoes से aerosols release होती हैं, pyroclastic debris release होती हैं, these aerosols cause something called radiative forcing. They increase the reflection of solar radiation, leading to dipping in temperature. This is called volcanic winter. Now this keyword should go in your answers when you are writing questions on volcanoes. And यही काम आपको करना होता है जब आपको पीडीएफ पढ़नी होती है. पूरी पीडीएफ नहीं पढ़नी है, जो चीजें मुझे नहीं पता वो मैं जान के हाईलाइट भी करके रखता हूं. Just read the bold words and see if you know them or not. If you don't know them, add them to your notes. Right? The effect of volcanoes on monsoon is also there. So even monsoonal modulations can happen. Even rainfall modulations can happen. Now, this new keyword called meteotsunamis. Tsunamis generally happen due to earthquakes. When volcanoes erupt, they can cause meteorological tsunamis. Don't need to go into detail, just remember the keywords. Okay. Concept of ice nucleation. Ice nucleation is ash particles are released in the atmosphere. They form as nuclei, and ice particles collect around these ash particles. So the ash acts as a nucleus for ice to form around it. Ice nucleation is something you might not know, but now you know this keyword in case a question on volcanoes comes. अब यहां पर भी river of fire. River of fire is lava coming from a volcano leading to formation of volcanic lava flows based landforms. It is referred to as river of fire in Iceland. Now this is a keyword that you might not know. These keywords will get us 1 mark more than our competitors. That is why they are here. Okay. Jet stream shifts you might not have written. Impact on aviation you might not have written. Right? Agriculture पे भी है. short term crop failures, long term fertility improvement. Okay, now this is how you read this PDF. Now how do I conclude? अब कंक्लूजन होता चाहिए क्वेश्चन को देख के एक, दिस इज अ सजेशन बेस्ड वे, वी हैव सीन दिस वे बिफोर. क्वेश्चन को देख के इस चीज का कुछ सॉल्यूशन ओरिएंटेशन, बिकॉज आई हैव नॉट मेंशन्ड एनी सॉल्यूशन. वोल्केनिक इरप्शन इज अ प्रॉब्लम, सो व्हाट विल आई राइट? With the increase in frequency of volcanic eruptions, again now linked to the question, recent occurrences. तो increase in frequency मैंने बता दिया worldwide because it was global in the question. Need for early warning systems, mitigation strategies and further research. In this regard, the NDMA guidelines on ash fall serve as a good policy pointer. I have linked with one policy. अब ये पढ़ के आप एक मार्क एक्स्ट्रा ले सकते हो. Can you now use this to get 1 mark extra? Volcanoes are likely. तो आपका पढ़ाई का काम मैंने कम कर दिया. ठीक है, चलो अब एक और काम करते हैं. लेट्स डू वन मोर थिंग. अब इसी अप्रोच से जो आपने कंपोनेंट्स याद किए, ट्राई राइटिंग दिस. I am giving you 1 minute. Try to generate as many points you can for this question. Troposphere impact on weather processes. Think. Think about troposphere now. Same components. Same components. कितने पॉइंट आए? सच बताना, कितने पॉइंट्स आप सोच पाए अब? How many points were you able to brainstorm based on this approach? 7-8 पॉइंट आ गए? 1 मिनट में आ गए? अब इसमें क्या है? एटमॉस्फेरिक कॉम्पोजिशन में बिल्कुल इम्पैक्ट है, सोलर रेडिएशन में इम्पैक्ट है, टेम्परेचर में इम्पैक्ट है, लैप्स रेट होता है, टेम्परेचर इन्वर्जन होती है, ह्यूमिडिटी पे इम्पैक्ट है, प्रेसिपिटेशन पे इम्पैक्ट है, एयर प्रेशर पे इम्पैक्ट है, विंड फॉर्मेशन पे इम्पैक्ट है, एयर मासेस हैं, राइट, क्लाउड फॉर्मेशन पे इम्पैक्ट है, कन्वेक्शन है. These are 8 points. If you can come up with these 7 to 8 points instantly, if you remember these components, now you will be able to write anywhere you see the word climate. Just mug this up. Mug this up. Okay? अरे क्वेश्चन नहीं लिख रहे थे हम ये. We were not writing this question. We were just thinking on this approach. We are not writing this answer. We are just focusing on this. कि इसको यूज कैसे करना है. ठीक है, चलो एक और बार यूज करो. Just this blue part. Impact on local weather conditions. Mountains impact on local weather conditions. Mountains impact on local weather conditions. Examples छोड़ दो. Again, same approach. Think of the same points. Same logic. Now 6 to 7 points should come to your mind immediately. cloud formation, winds, rainfall, precipitation, humidity. Air pressure, jet stream. अब देखो, albedo effect of solar radiation, temperature inversion in valleys, orographic rainfall, barriers to wind pattern, localized winds, jet stream changes, orographic and leeward side, windward and leeward side, wind channeling, local wind formation, atmospheric lifting. Again, I am able to come up with 7 to 8 points. और आप मेरे से ज्यादा सोच पाओगे, आपने अभी पढ़ी है फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी. बट दिस अप्रोच यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. अब समझ आया मैं क्या कराना चाह रहा हूं आपको यहाँ पे. यू द मोमेंट यू सी एनवायरमेंट, दोस 10 पॉइंट्स शुड कम टू योर माइंड, और उस बेसिस पे लिख दो जितने क्वेश्चन लिख सकते हो. क्लियर? अब समझ आ रहा है? चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन करते हैं. वेरी लाइकली क्वेश्चन फॉर दिस ईयर. टफ क्वेश्चन टू राइट. ध्यान से पढ़ना क्वेश्चन को, टफ है ये, एंड लाइकली दिस ईयर. सॉरी. पहले पार्ट्स आइडेंटिफाई करो. चलो आई विल गिव यू अ हिंट. थिंक ऑफ लेवल एनालिसिस अप्रोच. लोकल लेवल, रीजनल लेवल, नेशनल लेवल, ग्लोबल लेवल. नहीं आरुष, हाउ फार का मतलब कि सिर्फ ह्यूमनाइजिंग लैंडस्केप से चेंज नहीं हो रहा, और भी चीजें हो सकती हैं. नॉट पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट. तनिष्का, रीड द क्वेश्चन अगेन. क्वेश्चन समझो क्या कह रहा है. सुनो यार, ध्यान से सुनो. देखो, दिस इज अ लर्निंग मोमेंट, सो प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड क्लियरली. हाउ फार डू यू अग्री? आप कहां तक सहमत हैं? टू वॉट एक्सटेंट, हाउ मच? 50% अग्रीड, 60% अग्रीड, 70% अग्रीड. समझ रहे हो? सो यू कांट अग्री कंप्लीटली. सो यू कैन से, क्या पूछ रहे हैं? हाउ फार डू यू अग्री दैट बिहेवियर ऑफ इंडियन मॉनसून has been changing due to humanizing landscapes? I can say I agree broadly. Broadly, I agree, but behavior of the monsoon is changing. This is a fact. This I can't disagree with. Monsoon behavior is changing, ये तो fact है. I can say broadly I agree it is due to humanizing landscapes, but there are other factors also. There are other factors also. There are other things also that impact the monsoon, that change its behavior, that are not humanizing landscapes. For example, there is El Nino. El Nino Southern Oscillation is there. Indian Ocean Dipole is there. Maiden Julian Oscillation is there. Pacific Intra-Decadal Oscillation is there. These things also change the behavior of the monsoon, but these are not due to humanizing landscapes. क्वेश्चन समझ आया? दो पार्ट्स हैं क्वेश्चन के, कि एक बिहेवियर इज चेंजिंग ड्यू टू ह्यूमनाइजिंग लैंडस्केप, सेकंड बिहेवियर इज चेंजिंग ड्यू टू सम अदर फैक्टर्स। अब पहले पार्ट आपको ये आइडेंटिफाई करना है, दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू डू फर्स्ट। अब मैंने देखा कि मेरे क्वेश्चन के दो पार्ट्स बनेंगे, दैट यस चेंज ड्यू टू ह्यूमनाइजिंग लैंडस्केप्स, चेंज ड्यू टू अदर फैक्टर्स। अब ये फैक्टर्स तो क्लियर है मुझे, एल नीनो, ला नीना, मेडन जूलियन ऑसिलेशन, इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल एक्सेट्रा। ह्यूमनाइजिंग लैंडस्केप्स का मतलब क्या है? ह्यूमनाइजिंग लैंडस्केप्स मींस impact of humans on landforms. For example, deforestation. For example, formation of urban heat islands, increase in agriculture, increase in greening. These are the things. अब ये सोचना मुश्किल है, तो let me think on various levels. मैं various levels पे सोचता हूं, तो I will think, okay, local level, regional level, national level and global level. 4 levels of impacts on the monsoon. क्या हैं वो levels? Local level पे I can say that urban heat island formation leads to, अब कहीं पे urban heat island बनेगा तो क्या होगा? अब geographically सोचो, there will be more temperature. More temperature means lower pressure. Lower pressure means more convectional updrafts, means more rainfall. So urban heat island can alter the local rainfall patterns by intensifying convective activity. For example, rainfall in 2023 in Delhi. Now this is something you might not know, this is value addition. It was almost cloudburst level rainfall because of urban heat island effect. This is from the IMD website. They specifically called it cloudburst type rain. Okay. Ab, if you irrigate before the monsoon, आपने monsoon में क्या है? Ultimately there has to be high temperature. High temperature will lead to lower pressure. Lower pressure will lead to convectional updrafts. अगर आपने पहले ही लैंड को इरिगेट कर दिया तो लैंड का टेम्परेचर नीचे हो जाएगा, तो लोअर प्रेशर जो बनना था वो कम बनेगा, द डिप्रेशन फॉर्म विल बी लेस, सो अपड्राफ्ट विल बी लेस. एक्सेसिव इरिगेशन increases pre-monsoon evapotranspiration and decrease low pressure formation. These are local effects. Then regional effects. Deforestation and agricultural expansion is going to impact the monsoon or not. But just writing this much is not sufficient. I have to show the impact. For example, again, decrease in condensation. Evaporation कम होगी तो clouds कम बनेंगे. अगर agricultural expansion होगा तो the rainfall pattern will shift. Then national level, if I make river interlinking projects and I do winter irrigation changes atmospheric moisture content. This you might not know, but this year monsoon is very likely, specifically prediction of monsoon is very likely. Please पढ़ के जाना, right? It is called ensemble based prediction. There is a keyword here called long period average. न्यूज में है बहुत ज्यादा, because there is a new mission मौसम by the IMD के 150 years भी हो गए हैं. Mission Mosam for prediction is also there. IMD failed this time to predict the monsoon properly. They said La Nina will come. La Nina did not happen. ठीक है, ये national level and global level तो मुझे पता ही है. Sea surface temperature rise in the Indian Ocean, boreal deforestation, ENSO weakening due to greenhouse gases and climate change. This will also impact. Human impact on landscapes changes monsoon patterns. I largely agree. But there are other factors also, such as ENSO, such as jet stream, such as Indian Ocean dipole, such as solar insolation shifts. ठीक है, ये पहले मुझे सोचना है बॉडी में. Now, this is ideal answer that I have thought after writing and thinking about this for maybe an hour. If you can replicate 20% of this in the exam, you are writing better answers than others. कोई नहीं लिख रहा है ऐसे आंसर. But I have picked this question because monsoon is very likely. I know monsoon is in current affairs. अब मैं सोचता हूं मैं intro में क्या लिखूंगा. In the intro, I will write, recently the IMD has found it difficult to predict the nature of Indian monsoon, demonstrating the changing nature of monsoon. This varying behavior is a consequence of anthropogenic landform changes nested with natural factors. अब इस introduction को पढ़ के can I guess the question? क्वेश्चन पक्का कुछ ना कुछ चेंजिंग बिहेवियर ऑफ मॉनसून पे है, कुछ लिंकेज उसकी ह्यूमनाइजिंग लैंडस्केप से है. यस और नो? Now this is also showing the current affairs context. Don't write IMD failed, write IMD found it difficult to predict, right? अब सोचता हूं कंक्लूजन में क्या लिखूंगा. कंक्लूजन में क्या लिखूंगा? Although humanizing landscapes are impacting the behavior of monsoon, the alteration of natural factors due to the impact of climate change, अब ये जगह बचे वहां पे तो ठीक है, marine heat wave, sea surface temperature लिख सकते हो, are also impacting this behavior. तो हाँ, humanizing landscapes तो हैं, but natural factors भी हैं. Understanding this interplay is a key to better forecast and smarter policies. The recent mission Mosam is an endeavor to solve this issue. Now, current affairs linkage is there in the introduction. Government scheme is there in the conclusion. I have identified two parts and written for both parts. Humanizing landscapes at various levels and non-humanizing landscapes. Basically, natural factors also I have mentioned. This answer looks complete now. समझ आ रहा है? Is this clear? अब ये पीडीएफ पढ़ लेना ताकि आपको ये पॉइंट्स याद रहें. ठीक है? मेरा एंडेवर वही है, आपको हर क्वेश्चन ऐसा देने का जिसमें आपके मैक्सिमम मार्क्स आए. आप अगर 10 क्वेश्चंस भी इस लेवल के लिख दोगे तो आपका मेंस हो जाएगा. बाकी बस खाली मत छोड़ के आना. अब मॉनसून इस साल 2 times it has been asked before. What characteristics can be assigned to monsoon climate that it succeeds in feeding more than 50% of the world population residing in monsoon parts of Asia? Southwest monsoon is called easterly in Bhojpur region. तो यहां पर आपको वो मॉनसून की दो वो बनानी है, like 2 branches. One is like this, one bends like this. So it comes from the east to Bihar. राइट? तो मॉनसून पहले भी आ चुका है, मिशन मौसम न्यूज में है, आईएमडी न्यूज में है. प्रिडिक्शन ऑफ द मॉनसून हैड फेल्ड, दैट इज इन न्यूज. तो अब ये क्वेश्चन काफी लाइकली है. राइट? तो मॉनसून अच्छे से पढ़ के जाएंगे. कुछ एक्स्ट्रा कीवर्ड्स मैंने आपको यहां पर दे दिए. अब ये क्वेश्चन, cyclones are always in the news, very favorite, major favorite topic of UPSC and very oft repeated topic in the mains. So write this answer. What is sea surface temperature rise? How does it affect formation of tropical cyclones? अरे ये कल्चरल सोशल इंपैक्ट वाली चीज कल बताता हूँ, फ्राइडे बताता हूँ जब ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी पढ़ेंगे. इसका भी एक तरीका बना रखा है, टेंशन मत लो. Again, same thing we'll do. Same thing we will do. Sea surface temperature rise. है ना, सी सरफेस टेम्परेचर राइज, ये पार्ट 1 ऑफ द क्वेश्चन है। तो अब व्हाट इज सी सरफेस टेम्परेचर राइज इज वेरी इजी टू राइट, सी का टेम्परेचर बढ़ रहा है, बट आई कैन राइट रीजंस, although not asked directly, I can write the reasons here. This becomes first part. Second part is affect the formation of tropical cyclones. ठीक है, this is part 2. पहले मैंने देखा कि यार इस क्वेश्चन में there are two parts, sea surface temperature rise and formation of tropical cyclone. समुद्री सतह का तापमान एंड चक्रवातों के निर्माण पर उसका प्रभाव, राइट, टू पार्ट्स. Once I have seen this, I have identified these two parts. Now reasons for sea surface temperature rise are easy to write, right? Then I can think of cyclones. अब इस question में this specific question is only asking about formation, but the answer I have given you is a broad question on cyclones. अगर आपको कोई broad question भी मिल जाए, anywhere you see the word cyclone, you can use this approach. For cyclone, understand this question को, I'll come back to the question. First, understand wherever you see the word cyclone, what you need to do. Wherever you see the word cyclone, use this. The life cycle of a cyclone. First, cyclone will form, then it will develop, then it will mature, and then it will dissipate. So in case you got a question on cyclones, अब ये question as it is तो repeat होगा नहीं, cyclones पे broad questions बहुत बार आ चुके हैं, cyclones are always in the news. So अब sea surface temperature linked to formation, increased frequency of disturbances, frequency of Arabian Sea cyclones. Tokte came in 2021. Usually Arabian Sea does not see cyclones. Atmospheric instability, moisture availability. ठीक है. Then I have written some points for development also, rapid intensification, and there are examples both Indian and global. The question does not talk of India specifically, so I need to have some global examples in this question. So I have written some points for development also that you might not know, some points for mature stage. Now this you might not know, eye wall replacement cycles and secondary eye walls. याद कर लो, कंसेप्ट डिटेल में पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है, बट एटलीस्ट रिमेंबर दीज कीवर्ड्स. Sea surface temperature can also change their tracks and re-intensification, can lead to flooding also. Both Indian and global examples are here. Cyclones के examples यहां से हम याद कर लेंगे. Now tell me, in this question I only had to write about formation. Look at this question again. In this question I have said, what I have understood so far is that I will write, okay, first maybe I can write a little bit about sea surface temperature in the introduction. I can link this to climate change. In the introduction I can link this to climate change, that okay, it is because of climate change that this is happening. Now I need to have some authentic data. So here I will use the Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change Assessment Report 6. Even if I don't know the data from this report, I will use this report. Okay? It's not called bluffing. Okay? It's called being smart. I am not going to write exact data if I don't know. But can I write that as per Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change Assessment Report 6, there is, or as per IPCC AR 6, sea surface temperature rise has increased in the recent years and might reach unsustainable levels if global warming is not controlled. Tell me if this is wrong. It's not wrong, right? Use this in the introduction. Then I will write, okay, reasons for sea surface temperature rise. I showed some reasons like marine heat waves, El Nino can also be the impact, climate forcing can also be the reason. Done. Then I will say effect on formation of tropical cyclones. Maybe I know 3-4 points and I know examples. Then I will conclude. In the conclusion, I will write something with regards to, since I started with climate change, I can end with climate change. I can talk about mitigation. I can talk of adaptation strategies. Some other IPCC report if I know, which I'll show you, तो मैं ये लिख दूंगा. अब लग रहा है ये आंसर कंप्लीट? Is this answer complete? Now it looks good. I have examples also. It looks like a good answer. Very good. This answer is incomplete. This answer is incomplete. Now tell me why this answer क्या, चलो मैं ही बता देता हूं. Should I not write other factors? मेरे पास पॉइंट्स कम हैं, तो मैं यहां पर should I not write that formation of tropical cyclones is also affected by other factors? Maybe I write just 2 lines about it, but I can write role of other factors. Sea surface temperature affects formation of tropical cyclones, no doubt. I have shown the impacts with examples. But can I write there are other factors also? Coriolis force is also important. No matter how much the sea surface temperature, if there is no Coriolis force, if there is no vertical wind shear, can a cyclone form? No. So this also needs to be mentioned here, right? I now have another dimension. इसलिए प्लीज सोचो. Clear that there are other factors also. कितना भी टेम्परेचर हो जाए, अदर फैक्टर से तो नहीं बनेगी ना. सॉरी, आई नीड अदर फैक्टर्स ऑल्सो, राइट. अब इसमें अगर आपको, दिस इज नॉट गोइंग आउट ऑफ डिमांड यार, this is not going out of demand. How does it affect the formation of tropical cyclones? It affects the formation of tropical cyclones when these factors are present, not without these factors. By itself, sea surface temperature rise cannot lead to formation of cyclone. Is this out of the demand? No, it's well within the demand. अब है एक लेवल हाई. अगर आप ये कर सकते हो तो मुश्किल काम है इस क्वेश्चन में करना. You draw one world map. ठीक है, I'll just draw it quickly just to show you how quickly it actually should be drawn. Sorry. You draw one world map like this. Then in this world map, right, show here a line like this and write 27 degree isotherm. ठीक है, and then show some cyclones. Name cyclone 1, cyclone 2, cyclone 3. ऐसे कुछ cyclones, एक cyclone 4 यहां पे कुछ बन रहा होगा, ये बना दो. This is very high level diagram if you can draw. But समझ आया क्या लॉजिक है? Is the logic of this diagram clear? बहुत मुश्किल है, नहीं भी कर पाए तो कोई बात नहीं. But I'm just telling you how diagrams can be used. This is hard to do, but यार हो सकता है ना कि इस बार क्वेश्चन कुछ और हो साइक्लोन पे, right? And yes, there were cyclones in the Arabian Sea. This is cyclone Taukte. This was because of rise of sea surface temperature in Arabian Sea. Okay, broadly these parts are there. Mostly it is focused on sea surface temperature. One dimension of other factors is also there. Cyclone again, very very important. Ab look at the conclusion of this question. ये देखो, rising sea surface temperatures increase the intensity, frequency and destruction caused by cyclones. To meet the objectives of SDG 13, which is climate action, and SDG 11, which is sustainable communities, there is a need of global mitigation and adaptation measures. Decent conclusion? Decent conclusion is there. Again, demand is being answered at every step. Diagrams are usually drawn after intro. After intro, diagrams are drawn. Usually. Okay. Chalo. Let's move on to next question now. This was asked as a 5 marker in 2013. I will request you to write this like a 10 marker. Think now, move on to the next year. Just move on to the next. Write it like a 10 marker. Chal. Ab, let me teach you a new approach that I have not discussed with you so far. Right? This is a new approach. You have not learned this so far. This can be used in questions where, in similar questions like this, in the urbanization class, I will use this approach in 16 questions. Same approach, I will answer 16 questions with one approach. Okay? This is called demand and supply. Being a teacher of economics, this is of course my favorite approach. Right? I'm just kidding. Okay. So now think of it in this way. If I have to form a delta, if a delta has to form, what all are the things needed? What are the demands from any place or any river so that a delta must form? Right? There has to be some demand on the basis of rivers. So a river, if it has to form a delta, must carry sediment supply. A river must have a gentle gradient. कहीं भी डेल्टा बनाना है तो ये दोनों चीजें रिवर में जरूर होनी चाहिए. अब जहां डेल्टा बनना है, द प्लेस वेयर द डेल्टा हैज टू फॉर्म, दैट प्लेस must have suitable coastal plains, must have a long continental shelf. That place should not have long shore currents. If it has long shore currents like this, it will take away all the sediments. So for delta formation, river needs these two things, and the place where delta should form needs these three things, let's say. Now just show that rivers of Western Ghats don't have this. Sediments nahi hai. The gradient is not gentle. These are very short rivers, etc. Coastal plains are not there. The coast is an emergent coast. It's like this. It's a steep coast, right? It does not have a long continental shelf. There are long shore currents. जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, whatever problems are there, this is what is ideally needed for a delta. Whatever deficits are there are the reasons why there is no formation of delta, right? Ab question is on Western Ghats. In the introduction, what should I do? In the introduction, I can compare, I can show that unlike the rivers of Eastern Ghats that form deltas, the river of Western Ghats do not form deltas. इस टाइप का कुछ इंट्रोडक्शन में लिख सकता हूं. In the conclusion, if they don't form deltas, then what do they form? They form estuaries. ये कंक्लूजन में लिखूंगा. अप्रोच समझ आ रही है? Is the approach clear? Is the approach clear? अभी अप्रोच की बात हुई है ना. अप्रोच समझ आ रही है? Now I should draw a map. Now I can draw a map. In this question, I can probably draw a map, and in that map I can show rivers of Western Ghats, right? How will I draw this map? I will draw a 2-page, let's say there is a 2-page answer sheet. I will draw the map here. I will write the introduction here. Here I will draw the map, and I will label some rivers here that don't form deltas. Now I will write reasons for non-formation of deltas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I will conclude that they actually form estuaries. Map is there, rivers are named, introduction mein comparison is there, conclusion mein estuaries are mentioned. My answer is complete. So sediment supply, river gradient, coastal dynamics, geographical factors. Now you should read through here because there are examples here that you might not know of. For example, there is a longshore drift at the Malabar coast. You might not know this. So you can just read that part here that you don't know and add to your notes. Okay. Conclusion: owing to a combination of geographical and hydrological factors, rivers originating in the Western Ghats do not form deltas. Instead, they form estuaries. This variation in landform features also translates to local conditions, livelihoods, and social lives. Done? Well, next question. Let's do this. This was asked in 2023. You have 2 minutes. Now just focus on this question. Focus on this one. Parts. आपके क्वेश्चंस मैं आज लेता हूं आफ्टर द क्लास. आई विल टेक डाउट्स आफ्टर द क्लास. Good. Components of food security is very good. There are 4 words that define food security. चलो अब देखते हैं। अब देखो, देयर आर टू वेज टू राइट दिस आंसर. वन वे इज आई कैन लुक एट द वर्ड फूड सिक्योरिटी. अब देखो मुझे कितनी डायमेंशंस दिख रही हैं इस क्वेश्चन में देखते ही. कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज ऑन द फूड सिक्योरिटी इन ट्रॉपिकल कंट्रीज. ठीक है, मुझे एक ही डायमेंशन दिख रही है डायरेक्टली कि क्लाइमेट चेंज से फूड सिक्योरिटी पे क्या इंपैक्ट है. तो आप सोचो, आपको कोई बोल रहा है कि यार क्लाइमेट चेंज से फूड सिक्योरिटी पे बहुत इंपैक्ट हो रहा है, बताना कैसे हो रहा है. आपने बता दिया ये प्रॉब्लम है, ये प्रॉब्लम है, XYZ आपने प्रॉब्लम्स बता दी. विल यू स्टॉप देयर? इफ यू आर टॉकिंग टू मी लेट्स से एंड आई आस्क यू कि यार बताना एक बार क्लाइमेट चेंज से फूड सिक्योरिटी पे क्या इंपैक्ट हो रहा है, आपने मुझे 10 प्रॉब्लम गिना दी. विल यू स्टॉप देयर और इज इट नेचुरल टू गिव सम सॉल्यूशंस? Because I can see only one dimension here, directly only one dimension is visible. Would it not be good if I gave a way forward here? ठीक. अच्छा, अब देखो दो तरह हैं इस क्वेश्चन को आंसर करने के. अप्रोचेस की अगर मैं बात करूं, वन अप्रोच, जिन लोगों को सप्लाई चेन समझ नहीं आता प्लीज अब ध्यान से सुनना. वन अप्रोच कुड बी, देखो फूड सिक्योरिटी में क्या है, पहले फूड विल बी प्रोड्यूस्ड, फूड प्रोडक्शन होगी, फिर फूड की डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होगी उसके बाद, और फिर फूड की कंजम्पशन होगी. यही तीन चीजें होंगी ना. या तो मैं ये सोच लूं कि क्लाइमेट चेंज से फूड प्रोडक्शन पे क्या इंपैक्ट हो रहा है, फूड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन पे क्या इंपैक्ट हो रहा है, फूड कंजम्पशन पे क्या इंपैक्ट हो रहा है. दिस कैन बी वन अप्रोच. दिस इज कॉल्ड सप्लाई चेन. नाउ आई विल बी एबल टू जनरेट मोर पॉइंट्स. एन इवन बेटर वे टू डू दिस, and since food security is a repeated topic, you can follow this. Whenever you see the word food security, always think of components of food security. Food security has 4 components, not 3. Food security में होता है availability, food should be available, food should be accessible, food should be affordable, and food should be nutritious. There should not be hidden hunger. There should not be micronutrient deficiencies. अब इस क्वेश्चन में मैं क्या करूंगा, I will say okay, availability of food. Climate change is impacting the availability of food. Climate change is impacting the accessibility of food. Climate change is impacting the affordability of food, and climate change is impacting the nutrition of food. If I can write in these dimensions, I'll be able to generate 2 points each. Even if I get, let's say 2 here, 2 here, 1 here, 1 here, I have 6 points. Then I will write that okay, अब ये तो problem है ना sir, what is the solution? In these measures only, for boosting availability, what can we do? For boosting access, what can we do? For affordability, what can we do? And for nutrition, what can we do? ठीक है, तो इस अप्रोच से भी लिखा जा सकता है इस आंसर को. अब फूड सिक्योरिटी बहुत बार पूछा हुआ है, सो रिमेंबर दीज 4 टर्म्स अराउंड फूड सिक्योरिटी. नाउ लेट्स रीड द आंसर. ओनली लेट्स टॉक ऑफ द बॉडी. व्हाट विल आई राइट इन द बॉडी? Availability, impact on crop yields, locust pest attacks. Must have heard of this. Water scarcity leading to availability of food, soil degradation, lack of availability of food. आपको दो वहां पर आ जाने चाहिए बस. I am writing 4 so that you know more. This is not a model answer. Accessibility. It causes infrastructure damage, so there is lack of distribution. It can cause displacement and migration. It can cause market disruptions. Affordability. Price volatility and income loss as well as inflation can be due to effects of climate change. Nutrition. Now, this you might not know, called carbohydrate dilution. This is a keyword that you don't know, but you can use now. Carbohydrate dilution में क्या होता है? Because of increased CO2 concentration in the atmosphere, crops tend to absorb that more in place of nitrogen. So foods have more carbon dioxide leading to more carbohydrate but less amount of protein. This impacts nutrition. It can cause malnutrition, it can cause risks. For example, there are mycotoxin producing fungi that are there in higher temperatures. तो अब मेरे पास सबके अगर दो दो पॉइंट भी आ गए तो बात सॉर्टेड है. This diagram is from the IPCC report of how climate, food, ecosystems and socio-economic systems are linked. ये डायग्राम आप बना नहीं सकते, बट आपके लिए बहुत आसान है इससे पढ़ना, बिकॉज ये टॉपिक GS3 एनवायरमेंट में भी इंपॉर्टेंट है और यहां भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो इस डायग्राम को पढ़ लेना, ये बनाना नहीं है. दिस इज फ्रॉम द IPCC रिपोर्ट फॉर यू टू लिंक थिंग्स. ओके, नाउ आई विल गिव वे फॉरवर्ड इन टर्म्स ऑफ सेम फैक्टर्स. अवेलेबिलिटी में क्या क्या फैक्टर्स हैं? सिस्टम ऑफ राइस इंटेंसिफिकेशन, सबको पता होगा ना, ये प्रीलिम्स में पढ़ा होगा सबने, PYQ. यूज दिस. बजट 2025, high yielding and climate resilient varieties were used. Write this. Diversification, food wastage. Now these points you pick up from these notes. FAO's global initiative on food loss, circular economy, climate resilient infrastructure, cold storage infrastructure for access, affordability, top greens, Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana, National Food Security Act, right? And nutrition. Leveraging community knowledge systems, better health systems through soil health card. अब इस क्वेश्चन में what did I miss? I have deliberately missed one point. पहले तो बताओ, चलो मिसिंग छोड़ो, समझ आया कि फूड सिक्योरिटी के क्वेश्चंस को कैसे हैंडल करना है? Is it clear how you have to handle questions on food security? Good. I have specifically missed the point on tropical countries. This I have missed. So when I am giving my examples here, I need to give global examples also, and global examples should always come from tropical countries. You know, India is also a tropical country, but global example needs to be there. So low attacks, right? Pakistan, not India, right? Other tropical countries also. Now to show the examiner that no, I did not miss this, I will introduce this. I will introduce this right in the introduction. ये कीवर्ड था ना क्वेश्चन में. So firstly, IPCC special report on climate change and land. Climate change has direct impacts on food systems and food security, particularly impact tropical regions where the interplay of high population density and high temperatures can cause a food security crisis. Now tropical countries are there and this report is there. अब ये report याद कर लो, right? कि यार IPCC की कोई स्पेशल रिपोर्ट है क्लाइमेट चेंज एंड लैंड पे, फूड सिक्योरिटी दिखा, ये रिपोर्ट लिख देना और जेनरिक बातें लिखो. क्लाइमेट चेंज इंपैक्ट्स फूड सिस्टम्स, मार्क्स ये देख के मिलने हैं. ये ब्लफ नहीं कहते इसको, इसको कहते हैं बीइंग स्मार्ट, है ना. अब कंक्लूजन में क्या लिखूंगा? वे फॉरवर्ड भी दे दिया मैंने. कंक्लूजन में व्हाट विल आई राइट? Impacts of climate change on food security will disproportionately impact vulnerable groups. We know this fact or not? That disproportionately it will impact vulnerable groups. अब लिखो global efforts, ताकि मैं दिखाऊं एग्जामिनर को कि सिर्फ इंडिया के एग्जाम्पल नहीं पता मुझे ग्लोबल एफर्ट्स पता है. तो UAE declaration on sustainable agriculture, resilient food systems and climate action was signed in COP28. 154 countries signed this. Baku Harmonia Climate Initiative was signed in COP29. Quintessential for mitigating climate impacts on food security. ठीक है? You can link it with millets. Very good idea. Linking with millets is a wonderful idea. चैट में देखा मैंने, बहुत बढ़िया आइडिया. विनय, why did we write? Good question. मैं बता, एक let me talk about this. देखो, इंडियन इनिशिएटिव से लिखने से बेटर है मिलेट्स इज गुड, बट इंडियन से बेटर है कि मैं ग्लोबल लिखूं क्योंकि ट्रॉपिकल कंट्रीज पूछा है. नाउ समबडी इज आस्किंग व्हाई डिड आई राइट अ वे फॉरवर्ड हियर. देखो क्वेश्चन क्या है, क्लाइमेट चेंज की प्रॉब्लम्स बतानी है. वन ऑफ द मेजर प्रॉब्लम्स इज फूड सिक्योरिटी. क्लाइमेट चेंज इज कॉजिंग अ लैक ऑफ फूड सिक्योरिटी. कैन आई फिनिश हियर? व्हेन यू डू मोर क्वेश्चंस विद मी आपको और समझ आ जाएगा. पॉलिटी के क्वेश्चंस करके तो बिल्कुल समझ आ जाएगा इसमें क्या कब वर्ड फॉरवर्ड लिखना होता है. बट स्टिल कैन आई एंड हियर कि यार ये प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, खत्म? Does it seem like a civil services answer? Imagine a civil servant talking to a political leader and being asked, how is climate change impacting India's food security? Can he finish on, or he or she, can they finish on the problems? No, right? No, ये intuitive चीज है. There is no set formula here, but that is why we do multiple questions. I'm sure with time you will understand. And logically आपको समझ आ रहा होगा कि यहाँ पे खत्म नहीं कर सकते ना यार कि यार अच्छा क्लाइमेट चेंज से फूड सिक्योरिटी ये प्रॉब्लम है, खत्म. राइट? आई हैव टू टेल व्हाट टू डू नाउ. व्हाट नाउ? चाहे वे फॉरवर्ड छोटा लिखो बट लिखना जरूरी है. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नाउ. वेरी लाइकली दिस ईयर या तो GS3 में आ जाएगा या GS1 में आ जाएगा. चलो, before I discuss this answer, tell me one thing. It has been exactly 1 week since we started writing questions. This is just our 4th class. आपको आपकी थिंकिंग में डिफरेंस दिख रहा है? Are you able to see the difference in your thinking? Are you able to generate more points? See, ultimately, I am not teaching you any content here. It is about using the same content better. अब आप ही लोगों ने, इतना अच्छा लगा मुझे देख के चैट में, आप लोगों ने ही बोल दिया कि यार ज्योग्राफी के सिलेबस से लिंक कर लो. कुछ जियोलॉजी के फैक्टर्स होंगे या जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी के फैक्टर्स होंगे, कुछ रेनफॉल रिलेटेड फैक्टर्स होंगे, कुछ ड्रेनेज रिलेटेड होंगे, रिवर्स डिफरेंट है, राइट? और कुछ एंथ्रोपोजेनिक फैक्टर्स भी डिफरेंट होंगे. एंथ्रोपोजेनिक फैक्टर्स ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज जो यहां हो रही हैं और जो ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज यहां हो रही हैं, इनमें तो बहुत डिफरेंस है. सो आई विल बी एबल टू राइट, if I know these 4-5 points, I'll be able to write, let's say 2-3 points, or 2 into 4, 8 points here and 8 points here, and that will be enough. Ab, can I finish this answer on causes? अब समझ आया? यहां पे खत्म कर सकता हूं क्या मैं ये आंसर कि कॉजेस क्या है लैंडस्लाइड के? कैन आई फिनिश दिस आंसर हियर और इज समथिंग नीडेड? Good. I cannot. I need to show that there are some mitigation strategies that I need to show. अब क्या बोला है? Differentiate causes of landslides. So what will be an ideal way forward? Showing that since the reasons in these two regions are different, the solutions are also different. तो यहां पर कंक्लूजन में क्या लिखा है? यहां पे कंक्लूजन में लिखा है because the two ranges face different triggers, NDMA prescribes contrasting strategies. In the Himalayas, it favors engineering stabilization backed by tech-enabled early warning and hazard zonation, whereas in Western Ghat, it leans on stringent land use controls, bioengineering, afforestation, soil binding to check monsoon-driven landslides. अब ये सही एंड हो रहा है ना कि यार दोनों रीजन्स के रीजंस अलग हैं. So even the suggestions that I will give in the end, the way forward or the conclusion that I will write, I will show that differential approaches are needed. ठीक. बॉडी के लिए अगर मैं बात करूं, हमने डिस्कस किया जियोलॉजिकल फैक्टर्स, क्लाइमेटिक फैक्टर्स. अब ये चीज अगर नहीं सोची, ग्लेशियल लेक आउटबर्स्ट फ्लड, दैट इज व्हाई आई से 30 minutes for reading these notes. Just add the extra points to your existing notes. Drainage factors, anthropogenic factors, some other factors are here. अब मुझे बताओ इंट्रोडक्शन में यहां क्या लिखा जा सकता है? इंट्रोडक्शन में क्या लिखा जा सकता है? व्हाट कैन आई राइट इन इंट्रोडक्शन? लैंडफॉल एटलस ऑफ इंडिया. और डिफरेंशिएशन के क्वेश्चंस में टेबल बनाना इज अ गुड वे. ड्रॉ अ टेबल. क्या लिखा जा सकता है? रीसेंट एग्जांपल्स दो ना. टॉक अबाउट जोशीमठ लैंड सब्सिडेंस एंड वायनाड लैंडस्लाइड. इन दोनों का नाम लिख के बताओ कि देखो both these regions are susceptible to frequent landslides, but as seen in Joshimath and Wayanad, the reasons for these landslides are different. मैंने कॉन्टेक्स्ट दे दिया एग्जामिनर को. आई टोल्ड द एग्जामिनर सर मुझे पता है आप क्यों पूछ रहे हो लैंडस्लाइड्स के बारे में, राइट? यू नो कि क्या हो रहा है. आई नो कि इसलिए आप पूछ रहे हो, बट रीजंस डिफरेंट है. फिर मैं रीजंस बताऊंगा, फिर मैं इनमें बताऊंगा कि सॉल्व करने का भी तरीका डिफरेंट है. क्लियर? चलो लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. You have 2 minutes to think. Start. अरे इट्स नॉट फ्रीक्वेंट इन वायनाड, या ये क्वेश्चन नहीं है. मैं कहूंगा कि रीसेंट वेस्टर्न घाट्स में तो फ्रीक्वेंट है. मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट. अगला क्वेश्चन. पार्ट्स बताओ इसके क्या हैं. इसके पार्ट्स सोचो पहले क्या हैं. पार्ट समझ आ गए? अब पॉइंट सोचो. अब मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा, जब आप सोच लो आराम से, then I'll show you one thing that you knew but you did not write and had to be written. ठीक, अच्छा अब एक बात बताओ, ओशन करंट आर दे ओनली सरफेस करंट्स या कुछ और भी होता है इसमें? थर्मोहलाइन सर्कुलेशन, डीप सर्कुलेशन इज ऑल्सो देयर। सोचा आपने थर्मोहलाइन सर्कुलेशन? अब देखो, नाउ इन दिस क्वेश्चन, again the examiner has given us various parts, so we don't need to think of various approaches. One is factors responsible for origin of ocean currents, this is part 1. Influence on regional climates is part 2. Fishing is part 3. Navigation is part 4. ठीक, अब देखो, ओशन करंट्स को भी मैं डिवाइड कर दूंगा इनटू सरफेस करंट्स एंड डीप करंट्स, तो मेरे फैक्टर्स भी अलग हो जाएंगे, है ना? अब इस पार्ट में डिड यू अप्लाई द क्लाइमेट कंपोनेंट्स? यहां पर भी तो अप्लाई हो सकते हैं, टेम्परेचर, रेनफॉल, ह्यूमिडिटी, विंड पैटर्न्स, एयर कॉम्पोजिशन अप्लाई किया यहां पर। क्लाइमेट वर्ड दिखते ही आपके दिमाग में वो आ जाना चाहिए, रीजनल क्लाइमेट था ना? वेरी गुड। अब रीजनल क्लाइमेट दिखते ही ये आ जाना चाहिए। अब देखते हैं, नाउ आई विल शो यू फर्स्ट द बॉडी एंड शो यू सम वैल्यू एडिशन दैट आई हैव डन फॉर यू गाइस। ठीक है, इस क्वेश्चन सिंस इट्स अबाउट ओशन करंट्स, you can write a definition. You can write large scale continuous movements of seawater in the earth's oceans, surface और deeper levels. एग्जामिनर को अभी दिखा दो कि मुझे दोनों पार्ट्स पता हैं, and they play a crucial role in redistributing heat, supporting marine ecosystems, facilitating navigation. ये मैंने दिखा दिया। अब factors responsible: wind, Coriolis, continental boundaries, this you might know. Ekman spiral you might not know. What is Ekman spiral? जल्दी से बता रहा हूं, नहीं समझ आया तो कोई बात नहीं, याद कर लेना, because if you don't have geography optional, this is not required for you, but you need to know it's related with surface ocean currents. Let's say this is a block of water. Wait, I'll draw it here. Let's say this is a block of water and wind is in this direction. Coriolis force will be in this direction, outside towards the boat, towards you. आपकी तरफ होगा Coriolis force 90 degree to the wind. ठीक है, इफ इट इज इन दिस डायरेक्शन टुवर्ड्स यू, ये वाला पार्ट ऑफ वाटर है, इस पे इधर एक फोर्स लग रहा है और इधर आपकी तरफ भी एक फोर्स लग रहा है। इसके नीचे वाला जो ब्लॉक है, ये ब्लॉक ऑफ वाटर, इस पे जो आगे का फोर्स है वो क्यों लग रहा है? बिकॉज ऊपर वाला मूव कर रहा है। दिस इज वन ब्लॉक ऑफ वाटर, इट्स मूविंग लाइक दिस। सिंस इट्स मूविंग लाइक दिस, इट्स ऑल्सो अप्लाइंग फोर्स ऑन द लोअर ब्लॉक। लोअर ब्लॉक पे आगे का फोर्स कम है, बट कोरियोलिस तो सेम है, तो ये ब्लॉक ऐसे भी जाएगा और ऐसे भी जाएगा, तो it will actually travel like this. It will not, let's say it has two forces, one is like this and one is like this, the movement will be in this direction. Same for the lower block, so a spiral is formed. Water does not move in straight line in ocean currents, it moves like this in a curved line. This is known as Ekman spiral. Don't need to go into its detail, but लिख देना अगर ओशन करंट्स पे क्वेश्चन है, क्योंकि 3 बार पहले आ चुका है। Thermohaline circulation, there is something called ice exclusion principle. Again, extra keyword for you. What happens in thermohaline circulation is, let's say this is deep circulation under the surface of the ocean. This is affected by temperature and salinity. Let's say ice formation. अगर यहाँ पर ice formation हो रही है, तो जो भी salt है इस block of water में, जो भी salt था वो बाहर आ जाएगा, यहाँ आ जाएगा। This block of water that now gets the salt will have increased density and it will go to the bottom and it will change the some level it will change the deep current because density or salinity से impact होता है. So ice exclusion, meaning whenever freezing of water happens, the salt gets excluded. That leads to a change. Again, don't need to go in detail, but if you know this, you will get one mark more than others. Mostly geography optional वालों को आता है, but these are things we can write in GS. इसमें कुछ बहुत technical नहीं है, right? So these are two extra points that you can write here: Ekman spiral and ice exclusion. Now coming to the second part of the body, impact on regional climate, same. Temperature, humidity, wind, air composition. You might not know that cold currents actually enhance CO2 absorption. Here an example is given. And for each point here, an example is given for you to now read. Similarly, fishing, you might only be thinking of mixing of cold and hot ocean currents, but upwelling is also there. Humboldt current से भी fishing बढ़ती है. So we need to write that. And even migration is there. So Alaska current is also there. Navigation, Gulf Stream, Malacca Strait, and tidal currents that are formed there, and some hazards also. Whirlpool formation due to North Atlantic drift, they are here. अब introduction में मैंने define किया था. I have shown the impact. Now I have to write conclusion. देखो, IPCC Assessment Report 6 finds it very likely that continued greenhouse gas emissions will strengthen upper ocean stratification and impact AMOC. इतना डिटेल में नहीं भी लिखना, तो IPCC AR6 estimates that anthropogenic climate change will have a lasting impact on ocean currents. These shifts will ripple into broader socio-economic realms, altering regional climate, fishing, trade routes, and coastal livelihoods. This is exactly what was asked. I linked it to climate change. Right? यहाँ पर एक line missing है. I am also seeing it. Therefore, mitigation and adaptation strategies are the need of the hour. This is how this should be finished. Need of the hour. ठीक है? All right. Last question for today. Probably one of the most difficult questions asked in GS till date. ठीक है? We are going to write that now. नहीं लिखा जा रहा तो कोई बात नहीं, tough है ये question. Write this. 2 minutes. Focus on this now. Focus on this. ओशन करंट वाले क्वेश्चन में बिल्कुल वर्ल्ड मैप बना के आपको ओशन करंट्स दिखाने चाहिए. अरे 4 पार्ट्स तो ठीक है, दैट्स गुड दैट यू नो. लिखोगे क्या इसमें? Differential impact on weather patterns. The hint is in the question itself. Hint is in the question itself. This hint was there in the question itself. Ice and glaciers are different. ठीक है? अब देखो, वही सेम अप्रोच, सोचते हैं पार्ट्स क्या क्या हैं। मुझे पहले बताना है आर्कटिक वर्सेस एंटार्क्टिक इंपैक्ट ऑन वेदर। दिस इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू राइट। इसमें आपको बहुत नॉलेज होनी चाहिए क्योंकि आपको डिफरेंट इंपैक्ट दिखाना है कि आर्कटिक से ये होगा, एंटार्क्टिक से ये होगा, ये डिफिकल्ट है। दूसरा है आर्कटिक वर्सेस एंटार्क्टिक इंपैक्ट ऑन ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज। अब जहां भी ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज दिखे ज्योग्राफी में, very easy way to classify, although next classes of human geography will understand, very easy way to classify is primary, secondary, tertiary। ऐसे करके लिखो, ज्यादा पॉइंट्स बनेंगे हमेशा। ठीक है, अब इसकी बात करते हैं। फिर वही सेम, कुछ नहीं आता, आईपीसीसी 6 असेसमेंट रिपोर्ट। ठीक है, क्या लिख रहा हूं, इफ ग्लोबल, अब मुझे नहीं पता रिपोर्ट में क्या लिखा है, इफ ग्लोबल टेम्परेचर राइज रिमेन्स अनएड्रेस्ड it will lead to unsustainable melting of Arctic and Antarctic regions, both of which are climate tipping points. This I know. However, due to the different geographical features of these areas, their impacts will be varied. इंट्रो पढ़ के क्वेश्चन लिख पा रहा हूं मैं, इंपैक्ट अलग अलग होंगे, बट हाँ दोनों में मेल्टिंग की प्रॉब्लम है, ये बात आईपीसीसी बोल रहा है। ठीक, अच्छा, वेदर पे क्वेश्चन आया, सेम ड्रामा अगेन, क्लाइमेट वाला ड्रामा करेंगे फिर से। अब जो चीज हमें नहीं पता, आर्कटिक में इट इज परमाफ्रॉस्ट, मिथेन रिलीज होती है, पॉजिटिव फीडबैक लूप बनता है। यहां पर क्या है, ये यहां पर परमाफ्रॉस्ट थ्रोइंग लेस है, यहां पे सी आइस ज्यादा है, यहां पर एल्बिडो लॉस एंड आर्कटिक एम्प्लीफिकेशन ऑन सोलर रेडिएशन। यहां पर देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड क्लाउड ब्राइटनिंग ड्यू टू डाइमिथाइल सल्फाइड इंक्रीज, एरोसॉल रिलीज होता है एंड दिस एक्चुअली कूल्स द अर्थ। बहुत कंप्लेक्स फिनोमेना है, जानने की जरूरत नहीं है, बट मेल्टिंग ऑफ आइस शीट्स इज रिटन इन द सिलेबस, सो आई नीड टू नो दिस फैक्ट। ठीक, अगेन पॉजिटिव फीडबैक लूप, इंक्रीज इन ग्लोबल टेम्परेचर, यहां पर डीप ओशन वार्मिंग, इंपैक्ट ऑन एएमओसी, जेट स्ट्रीम्स पे इंपैक्ट, पोलर सेल में जेट स्ट्रीम, पोलर जेट स्ट्रीम इंपैक्ट होगी। यहां पर क्या होगा, जो लोकल विंड्स हैं उनसे ग्रेटर हीटिंग होगी और ज्यादा मेल्टिंग होगी, एग्जांपल इसका फोन विंड्स। दोनों से एएमओसी वीकन होती है, राइट, देयर आर टू ओरिजिनेशन पॉइंट्स ऑफ द एएमओसी, इट्स इन द आर्कटिक आल्सो, एंटार्क्टिक आल्सो, दिस हैज अ ग्रेटर इंपैक्ट, ये चीज दिखानी है, राइट। दिस विल हैव अ मच ग्रेटर इंपैक्ट सिंस इट्स ग्लेशियर मेल्टिंग, मच ग्रेटर इंपैक्ट ऑन सी लेवल राइज। मुझे यहां पर पॉइंट्स कम आते हैं बिकॉज ये है ही टफ, तो मैं यहां पे 5-6 पॉइंट लिखूंगा। देन आई विल कम टू ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज, यहां पर मुझे बहुत पॉइंट्स आते हैं। अब यहां पर हमने क्या नहीं सोचा होगा, आर्कटिक से फिशिंग ग्राउंड्स खुलेंगे, एंटार्क्टिक से भी खुलेंगे, बट हम कर नहीं पाएंगे बिकॉज देयर इज द एंटार्क्टिक ट्रीटी दैट रिस्ट्रिक्ट्स फिशिंग इन दैट रीजन। आर्कटिक में देयर इज एन इंडिजिनस पॉपुलेशन, एंटार्क्टिक डज नॉट हैव ह्यूमन हैबिटेशन, राइट। आर्कटिक से we have written about hunting gathering, when we write about oil and gas, आर्कटिक के नीचे बहुत सारे रिसोर्सेज हैं, इट इज कॉल्ड अ कोल्ड रश। अलास्का में गोल्ड रश हुआ था, द कीवर्ड हियर इज कॉल्ड कोल्ड रश। एवरीबडी, एवरी कंट्री इन द वर्ल्ड डिसेंड्स ऑन द आर्कटिक टू गेट मोर एंड मोर रिसोर्सेज, कोल्ड रश। यहां पर क्या है, अगेन इंटरनेशनल ट्रीटीज प्रोहिबिट, international treaties prohibit any sort of mining here. अब food processing, energy production, manufacturing, I would ask you to read this once again. shipping trade routes, यहां पर northern sea route जरूर आना चाहिए, this I'm sure most of you know. अब in the end what will I do, impact होगा, positive negative impact होगा, ठीक है। differential impact of Arctic and Antarctic regions on weather patterns and human activities posit a significant challenge for environmental conservation. In this regard, achieving the targets of climate action and life below water are of paramount importance. Link to SDGs सब बता दिया, ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज ज्यादा डिटेल में बताया क्योंकि मुझे आता ज्यादा था। पहला वाला पार्ट डिफिकल्ट टू राइट है, पढ़ के भी मुश्किल हो रही थी मुझे लिखने में क्योंकि डिफरेंशियल इंपैक्ट दिखाना है। राइट। डिफरेंशियल इंपैक्ट है, हमेशा टेबल बनाएंगे, ठीक है। क्लियर हुआ आंसर? क्लियर हुआ? यू विल सी अ लॉट ऑफ related questions here, right? Cryosphere and global climate they have asked. Himalayan glaciers they have asked before. Even India is taking keen interest in Arctic region, also they have asked, right? So ये वाटर रिसोर्सिंग वाली चीज जो हिमालयन ग्लेशियर्स है, मैं आपको ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी में पढ़ाऊंगा। बट इज द आंसर क्लियर? कुछ समझ आया? ठीक। अब नाउ those who have understood can leave. I will take your doubts now. जो समझ चुके हैं वो जा सकते हैं, क्लास इज ओवर, क्लास खत्म हो चुकी है, जिनको समझ आ गया है वो चले जाएं। ओजोन होल लिखा है अंजलि पीडीएफ में, पढ़ना। अपने डाउट्स बता दो, यू हैव 2 minutes, राइट वट एवर डाउट्स यू हैव, फिर मैं आपको बता दूं, आपके डाउट्स आंसर कर दूंगा। जिनको समझ आ गया प्लीज लीव एंड गो स्टडी। प्लीज रिजल्ट डिस्कस मत करना, ज्योग्राफी पढ़ लेना। आई थिंक वही डाउट होगा सबका कि ज्योग्राफी को मीन्स के लिए कैसे एड्रेस करना है। नेहा वॉच फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट क्लास। आशीष ये क्वेश्चन हम ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी में करेंगे। चलो, एक मेजर डाउट है कि ज्योग्राफी के नोट्स को कैसे हैंडल करना है, ठीक है। I can't explain supply chain again. Then okay, I'll now stop the chat, answer whatever doubts have come. वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री कैसे करना है, वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री के क्लास में बताया था। चलो, let me first say a couple of things that I think you need to hear. पहले ये चीज समझ लेते हैं, ठीक है। पढ़ना पड़ेगा, कंटेंट एक्स्ट्रा पढ़ना पड़ेगा, ज्यादा पढ़ना पड़ेगा, टू बी वेरी एक्यूरेट, बल्कि पढ़ना पड़ेगा। नोट्स पढ़ के, 1 पेजर नोट्स पढ़ के, ऊपर ऊपर से पढ़ के मीन्स नहीं निकलता भाई, नहीं निकलता मीन्स छोटा बहुत पढ़ के। क्योंकि आप टॉपर्स के आंसर्स देखो, यू विल हैव टू रीड एक्स्ट्रा कंटेंट। फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी में, जहां तक फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी की बात है, my assumption was that you know most of the things, you only needed value addition. This is not me teaching you content. I am teaching here only how to apply content and how to get 1 mark more. उसके लिए there are enough things here. आप पीडीएफ में देखोगे, I did not point this out to you. कीवर्ड्स दिए हुए हैं, साइक्लोन्स के, क्लाइमेट चेंज के, मॉनसून के, वॉल्केनोज के, ओशन करंट्स के लिए, आर्कटिक एंटार्क्टिक के लिए, करंट अफेयर्स जो इस बार इंपॉर्टेंट हैं वो यहां पर लिखे हुए हैं। एंड वॉल्केनिक इरप्शंस आर आल्सो गिवन, क्योंकि इस बार वॉल्केनिक इरप्शंस काफी हुए हैं, ठीक है। बट मेंस इजी नहीं है, आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा। देयर इज नो अदर वे एंड यू विल हैव टू रीड एक्स्ट्रा एंड यू विल हैव टू गो बियॉन्ड। ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी अगर आप पढ़ रहे हो, आप पल्लवी मैम के नोट्स पढ़ो, फिर आप इस क्लास में आओ, आई विल गिव यू सम एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट्स, उनको नोट्स में ऐड करो, फिर उसको रिवाइज करो, फिर टेस्ट लिखो। है मेंस की प्रिपरेशन, बल्कि 80 डेज में फ्रॉम स्क्रैच बहुत मुश्किल है। देयर इज नो अदर वे टू डू इट दो। अब आपके पास टाइम कम है, दैट डज नॉट मीन द अप्रोच विल चेंज। देयर विल बी एटलीस्ट 5000 पीपल हु हैव रिटन मेंस बिफोर यू, who have written mains before in some or the other attempt, who will be giving मेंस this time? उन्होंने तब भी तो पढ़ाई करी होगी मेंस के लिए. सीटें तो 3000 ही हैं उसके आगे. Only 3000 people are going to give the interview. उसमें भी मेंस is what makes your rank. So you have to be at least in the top 1500 mains writers to then get a rank, even if you do exceptionally well in the interview. Right? आसान नहीं है. Please don't expect easy solutions from my side. There is no way around it. नहीं है कोई easy solution मेरे पास. आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा, डिटेल में पढ़ना पड़ेगा. मेरे फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी के नोट्स मेरी वेबसाइट पे हैं, 400 पेजेस के हैं. वही पढ़ के जाता था मैं प्रीलिम्स में. एक चीज नहीं है यहाँ पे जो उन नोट्स में ना कवर्ड हो, एक्सेप्ट द वैल्यू एडिशन पॉइंट्स दैट आई हैव गिवन यू. बट वो नोट्स मैंने प्रीलिम्स के लिए ही बनाए थे. यू हैव टू रीड एक्स्ट्रा. देयर इज नो अदर सोल्यूशन. ये बात समझ आ रही है? पहले एक्सेप्ट दिस. आप एक इजी गेम में नहीं हो अब. Only through answer writing I cannot help you. Till you don't have content, I cannot help you. समझो इस बात को. आपको GS1 जब हमने MMP प्लस स्टार्ट किया था, आपको बोला था GS1 you have to finish by 14th June. 14th June is on this weekend. You are 3-4 days away. इसमें आपको ऑप्शनल भी करना है. एंड यस इट इज डिफिकल्ट. देयर इज नो अदर वे अराउंड इट. मैं कोई भी सब्जेक्ट आपको यहां पढ़ाऊं, एनी सब्जेक्ट दैट आई टीच हियर. कई लोग पूछ रहे थे एमएमपी प्लस को कैसे यूज करना है. लेट मी टेल यू. GS1 की अगर मैं बात करूं, हम अज्यूम करते हैं कि आपको मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री, एंशिएंट मेडिवल आर्ट एंड कल्चर और फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी डिसेंट लेवल पे आती होगी. जो आपने प्रीलिम्स के लिए पढ़ा है उसको रिवाइज करो. साथ में राइट स्मार्ट में मैं आपको वैल्यू एडिशन दे देता हूं उस लेवल की. करंट अफेयर्स, कीवर्ड्स, कोट्स, हर डॉक्यूमेंट के एंड में आपको ये वैल्यू एडिशन दिखेगी. यू कैन यूज देम टू राइट. ठीक है, ये GS1 की कहानी है. इसके अलावा जो GS1 के सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, जैसे कि वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री, पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस कंसोलिडेशन, जैसे कि ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी, ये आपने नहीं पढ़े होंगे, हमने अज्यूम किए हैं. तो इसका रिकॉर्डेड कंटेंट अपलोडेड है. इसका कंटेंट आप देखो, और ये कंटेंट देख के आपने खत्म करना है बिफोर 14th, इंक्लूडिंग सोसाइटी. ये आपने कंटेंट 14 तक खत्म करना था. एंड द आइडिया वाज दैट नाउ व्हेन यू कम टू लेट्स से ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी का राइट स्मार्ट, आप वो कंटेंट पढ़ चुके होगे जो हमने एमएमपी प्लस में डाला है. तभी छोटा क्रिस्प कंटेंट है. क्रिस्प डज नॉट मीन कि आसानी से हो जाएगा. व्हेन यू कम टू राइट स्मार्ट, जैसे जब मैंने वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री और पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस का राइट स्मार्ट का सेशन लिया था, मैंने आपको बहुत कुछ और पढ़ाया था, सोचना सिखाया था कि हाँ यार, if a question comes I'll be able to write. Similarly now human geography right smart we'll do on Friday. Here I will teach you various other things, questions that are common, Weber's least cost industrial location model, concept of isoda pane, जो आपने नहीं पढ़ा होगा वो मैं आपको एक्स्ट्रा पढ़ा दूंगा. इन सब में क्या अप्रोच है? रीड द कंटेंट प्लस डू वैल्यू एडिशन फ्रॉम राइट स्मार्ट. दिस इज द आइडिया. Once you have done this, then go and write a live answer writing session. अब यहां अगर आप पहुंच गए हो बिना कंटेंट के, इट विल नॉट हेल्प यू. इसके बाद आप जाके प्रैक्टिस टेस्ट लिखो. दैट वाज द अप्रोच. ये आसान नहीं है. दिस इज अ 6 month जॉब. इट्स इजीली अ 6 month जॉब. मैं ऐसे ही नहीं बार बार बोलता वी हैव टू बी मेंस रेडी बाय दिसंबर. इट इज अ 6 month जॉब, बट यू हैव टू डू इट इन 80 days. तो मेहनत ज्यादा लगेगी यार. देयर इज नो अदर वे अराउंड इट. ठीक है. एंड अगर आपको कहीं पे लगे, ठीक है, आई जस्ट डू वन थिंग बिफोर आई गो. आई जस्ट रीड आउट अ मैसेज. ये मैसेज मैंने वरुण सर को लिखा था बिफोर माई मेंस. आई जस्ट शो यू. फर्स्ट मेन से पहले Varun sir was my mentor, as you all know. I'll show you what I wrote to him at that point. This is on 1st December. Hello sir, Sir, I don't think I will be able to do this. Syllabus is too much, a lot of things to remember, and I don't think मुझसे सब कुछ हो पाएगा. It's depressing and there's a lot of anxiety. I honestly thought syllabus easily हो जाएगा, but I guess I need 2 months more to do all of it. मुझे तो लग रहा है that I should just think about next year. समझ नहीं आ रहा था क्या करूं, that's why I messaged you. इससे पहले I've cleared all my exams, AIPMT, college, even prelims in my first attempt. So everyone has expectations from me. And मुझे भी expectations हैं खुद से. But I am realizing now that I can't make it this year. बहुत ही depressing है. Should I focus on next year now? This is the exact message I wrote to him, word by word. And his reply, it was a voice note, but I remember it distinctly. His reply was that यार हो सकता है इस बार तेरा मीन्स ना हो, बट दैट डज नॉट मीन कि तू ढंग से ना दे मीन्स को. पूरी एफर्ट लगा के जितना किया जा रहा है पूरी एफर्ट लगा के इसको कर. अगर इस बार नहीं भी होगा बट यू पुट इन द एफर्ट दैट यू नीड, नेक्स्ट ईयर यू विल डेफिनेटली मेक इट. एंड दैट्स एग्जैक्टली व्हाट हैपेंड विद मी, बिकॉज ये है मुश्किल, राइट? पहले आप अंडरस्टैंड करो इस बात को कि ये काम टफ है. हो सकता है आप सब कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे, बट स्टिल यू हैव टू कीप गोइंग. यू कैन नॉट स्टॉप, राइट? एंड इन मेंस आई कैन नॉट स्पून फीड थिंग्स टू यू. आपको ही पढ़ना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज इट इज सच अ पर्सनलाइज्ड एंड सब्जेक्टिव वे ऑफ राइटिंग दैट इफ आई जस्ट गिव यू वन पेज नोट्स के पढ़ के चले जाओ, उससे हो ही नहीं सकता यार. आपको दिख नहीं रहा. अगर यहां पर इफ इट वाज ओनली प्रीलिम्स क्वेश्चंस इट वाज वेरी इजी, बट यहां तो इट इज 1 mark extra for somebody else means 1 mark less for you and you are out of the list, right? Please understand this thing. This is the last time I will communicate this message to you. You will have to read. There is no solution. Approach यही है जो बोर्ड पे है. एफर्ट लगेगा और करना पड़ेगा. नहीं होता तो मेरे से भी नहीं हो रहा था फर्स्ट टाइम में, मेरे से भी नहीं हो रहा था फर्स्ट टाइम में, बट दैट्स ओके, हो जाएगा. डोंट स्टॉप. ठीक है? इज दिस क्लियर? ठीक है, चलो, that's it. Now I'll see you next time on Wednesday, I think. या आज Wednesday, I'm not even sure. हाँ, आज Wednesday, sorry, Friday मिलते हैं. We'll see you on Friday and we'll do human geography then. ठीक है? All right. See you on Friday. I'll do human geography with you. Bye bye.